just when Cam Newton was supposed to be the difference maker for Carolina, the inevitable just happened, that's all. What's up, everybody? Jamer's 58 Gilliam here, coming at you with a victory lap video over the Carolina Panthers. Split the series for the 2021 season. I appreciate the fans, the coaches, and the players of the Carolina Panthers for y'all big fight, but to no avail. We wanted it more. I would like to talk about the defense because I'm a defensive guy. You know, my frustrations as an Atlanta Falcons fan for these past years was the lack of defense. And Dean Pease is providing us with some solid defenses. A second pick six. Pick sixes for back-to-back weeks. And we won the turnover battle, 2-1. We had three to their one. So that was a huge difference maker in our victory over Carolina. That Michael Walker pick six really was a breath of fresh air. It was a breath of fresh air as someone who loves watching defenses, who getting fumble recoveries, that love watching the opposing team get sacked. Yes, so we're putting together. I like how Dean Pease put together some schemes to where they just disguise it. Cam Newton got confused. That was the reason of that pick six. It's not like, hey, a lot of critics that says, well, there's something wrong with the opposing team that the Falcons played. But the thing is, they're just backpedaling and want to double down and discredit the Atlanta Falcons. Instead of giving the Falcons credit, they want to give, well, what's wrong with the opposing team that the Falcons played? But they were favored to beat us. They were favored, with Cam Newton. He's supposed to run all over us. Granted, he did earlier, but we stopped all of that. He was getting hit. Robbie Anderson got hit hard yet again. And the wood didn't even come from Eric Harris this time. We didn't have Eric Harris that game. So that tells you a lot. A whole lot. Now, let's talk about the offense. You know what? The very first time, this is like in a long time for me to be happy to see a 0 in the offensive favor. And what are those zeros? Well, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. 0 interceptions thrown by Matt Ryan. Now, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. Jalen Mayfield, that's the guy that comes to mind. He's been out there fighting like a dog. And credit to Arthur Smith. It was a questionable decision to me for you to just keep Jalen Mayfield out there, knowing that he spent the majority of his playing days as a tackle and not a guard, but he's doing this thing and he's provided running lanes for our running backs. And Jonathan Vilma was talking about, hey, just run left. Do that Beyonce run to the left, so it worked effectively. Run behind Jalen Mayfield and Jake Matthews. You'll get the job done. Speaking of the O-line, the only thing that I can really point any kind of criticism, the constructive criticism, 0 sacks. It's not criticism. 0 sacks, okay? Now here's the other part, the other half. That bad snap between Matt Hennessy and Matt Ryan, ooh, that was ugly. That long snap. Matt Ryan had to run to his right, and he had to complete a pass that went for negative yardage. Yeah, that was nasty. Ugh. And then, and speaking of Matt Ryan, we're gonna stay on the offense for a little bit. Matt Ryan, that was not his performance was not pretty whatsoever. You know, as a Falcons fan and not a Matt Ryan fan, I like Matt Ryan, but you gotta call a spade a spade. Matt Ryan did not play his best ball game. However, he did operate the field as a field general. As a 14-year vet who was struggling the past 3-4 previous games, you learn to put together a drive. And that's exactly what it did. He put together he executes some drives. And then of course, 0 interceptions by him. And his stats aren't pretty, but who cares about the stats when you get a dub? I'd rather Matt Ryan to continue to throw a little under 200 yards a game and an interception and zero interceptions and a touchdown. I would rather that than for Matt Ryan to throw for over 300 yards, 2 or 3 touchdowns, in a game-losing pick 6, where his stats is an interception and it came from a losing pick 6. That stuff kind of happens in the NFL. So I'd rather that than the other. No garbage stats needed. He connected with Kyle Pitts with a back-breaking first down to the Carolina Panthers to keep that clock moving. Carolina had 0 timeouts. And then later on, we got the victory. Take the knee and let the clock run out. Special teams, Thomas Morstead. I don't speak much about the special teams because, well, the only time when I would like to speak about them is if we run back a touchdown, we run a punt or a kickoff back to the crib for a 6. However, we got Thomas Morstead pinning our opponents back like behind the 15-yard line inside the 5. Pretty good. I don't speak much about him because, I don't speak much about the special teams. Maybe, more racking points for Younghoe Koo. I like that. Did he miss a field goal? I don't think he missed a field goal. No, he didn't miss a field goal. If he did, it's short-term memory because we won. And he's good to miss a field goal or 3. So, yeah. Overall win by, this is a team win. We went down and dirty. Wasn't pretty. I'm not expecting anything pretty. We beat the Carolina Panthers. They did not cash in their sweepstakes with Cam Newton under center. A lot of casual fans in the sports media, the mainstream sports media, would make excuses for the Falcons' opponents, like, well, they're having quarterback issues. No, it didn't look like it was a quarterback issue for for week 13 for the Panthers, did it? No, it didn't. Okay, then. The Panthers were favored to beat the Falcons. Falcons won on the road. The Falcons are now 5-2 on the road, looking good. Let's see how they do going to the West Coast. It's going to be Matt Ryan versus Kyle Shanahan, round 2. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it on the logistics video. So y'all be blessed.